Am I the butthole for refusing to eliminate princess stuff from my daughter's life? I'll probably get judged for all this, but I'm pregnant with a guy I'm not dating. He's nice and wants to be there for the kid, so we are on friendly terms. So far, we've had no issues until I met his parents. I met them on Saturday. Everything was going great until baby shower talk came up. I was talking about the theme and his mom said, "Son, did you tell her about the princess thing?" He didn't. Apparently his brother has a daughter from another relationship named Princess that he's not allowed to see. It's a sore subject for him, and he lives with the grandparents, so he's around often. They have requested that we don't do any themed events, buy any clothes, decorations, etc. with the word princess on them. It's just too hard for the brother. I may be the butthole here because I don't even have strong urges towards princess stuff. Much prefer soup-colored baby rompers. That said, I'm incredibly annoyed at this request and told them absolutely not. If I see something cute that says princess or my kid wants princess stuff, I will buy it. This upset his parents and started saying, "Really? You'd rather cause someone pain than put down a damn princess shirt?" I'm not trying to cause pain, but expecting me to restrict princess from all things sounds completely unreasonable to me. I'm not particularly girly, but even I went through a princess phase and love the children's books Fancy Nancy, so I'm sure I'm bound to stumble on some princess stuff. Edit because a lot of people asked. This is why the brother can't see the kid. He gave up his rights so the kid's stepdad could adopt her, and he'd be relieved of child support payments. They promised he'd still get to see the kid. After all was said and done, they stopped letting him see her. My baby's dad believes he could see her if his brother put in effort, but he doesn't and just sulks about it instead. I think there's a middle ground here. Tell them you won't go out of your way to do princess-themed things around their family, but you're not going to ban all female Disney characters and sparkles from your home forever either. And if your baby girl's uncle is not allowed to see his own daughter, I wouldn't allow your daughter around him unless you're there. Edit, not the butthole. I don't think it even needs to be that much of an issue, if original poster and dad aren't dating. How often is original poster going to host dad's brother? If they don't babysit in original poster's home, how often is she going to be hosting paternal grandparents? If dad doesn't live with his parents, how much of his parenting time is going to be spent with his parents? This might only be an issue a few times a year. If grandparents are going to cry cause daughter is wearing a Little Mermaid, I don't know who the princess are now, shirt, dad can change her. This really may be a non-issue. Original poster isn't into princess stuff and kids start picking that out at what? 2 to 3 blow up that bridge when they get to it. Blow up that bridge when we get to it is going to be my new life motto. No need for a middle ground, this is just straight up not original poster's problem. I was more confused on why they're going to make this guy's brother's girlfriend keep princess stuff out of her daughter's life just because his daughter's name was Princess. I get that it's upsetting, but they're seriously going to make everyone in their life avoid princess stuff? It just hit me that a grown butt person named a child princess. It sounds like most of that family is a hot mess. Not the butthole. Nobody should name their child princess. It's not as bad as Joy or Amazing, but it's worse than giving them the same name as a location. Really? Joy is a pretty common name, maybe a little on the older side. To me it's on the same level as Hope or Grace. I went to school with a girl named Joy. She had 3 sisters, Hope, Noelle, and Holly. No, I'm not kidding. Edit, the spelling of Noelle because I apparently had it incorrect. Okay, but shout out to their parents for giving them names that individually sound like just regular names, but when put together you can see exactly what they did, laughing my butt off. Yeah, I agree. I always wondered what they would have named a son. Part of me hopes they would have gone the exact opposite way with it, not because of the negative views on men but just for contrast. I once met a man named Arson, so that's kind of what popped into my head as a name for the son. I realize that's not a normal name, but it's where my brain went instantly, laughing out loud. Ah yes. These are my daughters, Joy, Hope, Noel, and Holly. And this young man? My son. Arson. We don't talk about him. Please do not look him directly in the eyes, as he takes that as a sign of disrespect and aggression. This is Arson. But what's his name? Arson. I know he's your son, But what's his name? The Carter parents were a quiet and respectable Lonker family who got into a bit of a mix-up when it came to naming their children. First, they had 4 daughters, who were christened Hope, Chastity, Prudence, and Charity, because naming girls after virtues is an ancient and unremarkable tradition. Then their first son was born, and out of some misplaced idea about how this naming business was done, he was called Anger Carter, followed later by Jealousy Carter, Bestiality Carter, and Covetousness Carter. Life being what it is, Hope turned out to be a depressive, Chastity was enjoying life as a lady of negotiable affection in Ankh-Morpork, Prudence had 13 children, and Charity expected to get a dollar's change out of 75 pence, whereas the boys had grown into amiable, well-tempered men, and Bestiality Carter was, for example, very kind to animals. Lords and ladies, Terry Pratchett. There's a new baby in my son's daycare class called Lethal. I personally would find it hilarious if they named him something plain. These are my daughters, Grace, Harmony and Joy. And him? Oh, that's Paul. Laughing out loud, Noel is technically the male spelling of Noel, so probably Noel. Or Santa. Nicholas probably. Chris? I know a woman who had 4 kids. All girls, Grace, Faith, Hope, and Joy. Joy is a great name though. I grew up with a girl named Gay. That was over 50 years ago. I wonder how much she's had to put up with over the years. I mean, she walks up to some rando girl at the party, and says, "Hi, I'm Gay, and you are?" Gay used to be a traditional name for girls, means happy and joyful, I think. I had a teacher named Gay, she is probably 80 now. Too bad the context has changed and the name isn't favorable now. I had a teacher named Gay, she is probably 80 now. Did you, by any chance, go to school in the Bensalem, Pennsylvania area, and was her last name Nelson? Laughing out loud, I'm from Quincy, Eels, so not the same teacher. But I'm sure they were both good teachers. A friend of my parents is named Gay, she married a man with the last name Butts, and took his last name. They were both teachers. Please tell me the husband was called Richard? There are some gays in my family. There are also some gays in my family. It's me. I'm the gay in my family. Joy is not the same as princess or amazing, not even a little bit. It's a totally normal name. I went to school with kids named Fortress, Endurance, and twin girls Fortune and Fortunate. Try Chastity and Charity. Twins. Princess is a really common name in the POC community. For that reason, writing people off for the name is iffy. Everyone else is commenting that Joy is a very common name, and it is, but so is Princess in some communities, and judging people for not having the same group of community acceptable names is not great. Just for your information. Not the butthole. Do they expect you to do this for the entirety of your child's life? If your daughter wants something princess themed, they expect you to just not let her have it because it may hurt someone else's feelings? That's a ridiculous request. And people who may not be super involved in kiddo's life, depending on how it all goes. Original poster, the fact that his parents are so willing to rush in and make sure that their kids are never hurt or inconvenienced even as adults is something that you may want to be on watch for, in case their son is similar. It's not good for kids' personal development to be isolated from consequences and the reality of the world. As much as it hurts you to see them be disappointed at the moment, it teaches perseverance and how to deal with those uncomfortable feelings. Yep. This is how those parents ended up with an adult son still living with them, who gave up all rights to his daughter from what seems to be an unstable relationship because he didn't want to play child support. And they're still shielding him and mollycoddling him. I'd be on the lookout for red flags for this baby's father too, if I were original poster. I'm sorry, daughter, you can't watch any of the Disney princess movies because you might end up wanting a Moana t-shirt, and that will trigger your uncle, who you don't really ever have to see anyway. Not the butthole. This is the brother's problem. He needs therapy to get over his loss. Also, why is he not allowed to see his daughter at all? It's extremely rare for a parent to be denied any sort of visitation. Even physically abusive parents can manage to get supervised visitation. Is the brother even safe to have around your own child? See the edit. He let the stepdad adopt because he could stop child support, and they told him that he'd continue to be involved, and then stopped all involvement once the paperwork was signed. That's his own damn fault. Giving up your rights and letting someone else adopt means you're not the child's parent anymore. Thinking, oh, I can just give up my legal and financial obligations to the child but still be allowed to play at being their dad is beyond stupid. Yep. He thought he could be the cool and fun dad without any of the responsibilities that comes with being a parent. But I suspect that he chose to stop seeing her and just told his family that it was his ex that made the decision to keep the kid away from him. Either way, Princess is most likely better off without him. Step 1. Say I don't want to be this child's parent anymore. Step 2. Ex and court system say okay, you're not a parent anymore. Step 3. Shocked Pikachu face, what do you mean I'm not a parent anymore? Oh no, so painful to not be this child's parent anymore. They and all items that might remind me of how unfair life is, because it's still all about me. Not the butthole. That's a completely unreasonable request. It would make more sense to ask that the kid not wear a short that says princess in front of him, but even that is a stretch because kids should have some autonomy, and if they really want to they should be allowed. Not the butthole. Look, I would be clear that you'll try to avoid the princess stuff around him while your daughter is still too little to have her own preferences, but that phase doesn't last long, and she's a little girl. The world will throw princesses at her. If she wants a Disney princess party for her 2nd birthday, it's going to happen. If she demands to wear a princess t-shirt, it's going to happen. I get it, I lost a child. My coworker even, unknowingly, named their son the same name. When they announced the name, I told them it was nice and then promptly excused myself to the single-stall bathroom for a good cry. The brother has to deal with the fact that princesses exist, and it's likely his niece will at some point be interested in them. I'm so sorry for your loss, but just want to say I respect you so much for being strong enough to say the name is nice, then remove yourself from the situation and have a good cry without causing a scene. This is also why, in addition to gender identity/medical struggles, I feel like every workplace needs a single-stall bathroom somewhere where you can cry in peace for a bit if needed. Not the butthole. That man isn't even truly that child's father. He wanted the gratification of seeing her every once in a while without having to do any of the actual parenting and providing support. I think it's ridiculous for them to demand that you take away what could be very positive role models for your child. Totally unreasonable. Original poster replies. Right? Princesses are awesome. This guy? Not so much. If I had to choose between him and princesses, let's just say it wouldn't be a tough choice. Exactly. Let your daughter have the opportunity to enjoy princesses. I had a princess phase when I was little and it made me really happy. I'd be sad to think a little girl couldn't have that same magical experience for such a stupid reason. Not the butthole. You just meet them, and they're already telling you what you can and can't do. Nothing doing. It's good to set boundaries from the beginning. This is the best comment on here. Don't accept their rules. The first meeting and they are taking control. It starts with princess and what comes next. Not the butthole. And WTF, they named their daughter Princess, like actually named her that? That poor child. Not the butthole. What are you supposed to do, ban your child from all things Disney? I think a compromise would work, but also, if you have a daughter, and she wants a future Disney princess party for her birthday, let her have it. Not the butthole, especially if you are expecting a girl. Anyone who suggests that you keep a little girl from princess stuff has apparently not had a little girl. Just about everything is princess stuff for girls between 2 and 8. You can't escape it. The request is not unreasonable, it's insane. Also, if the brother gets triggered by all things princess, there might be a good reason why he can't see his daughter. Not the butthole. They literally think they can eliminate the word princess from a little girl's life because some dude couldn't keep custody of his kid? That is utterly ridiculous. I can't even express how absolutely insane that request is. Not the butthole. I would say maybe the one concession you could make is not doing a princess-themed baby shower since your heart isn't set on it, and they have specifically asked you not to. However, as your kid gets old enough to have her own interests, then your responsibility is to her. And then the question isn't would you rather cause someone pain than put down a princess shirt? The question becomes would you ask me to choose someone else's comfort over my child's happiness? That sounds like his own fault. He didn't want to take responsibility for the child, so he gave up his rights. If he thought legally giving up responsibility but a verbal promise would hold up, then he's an idiot. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.